The very first sentence you utter today, the one your brain spends precious energy meticulously crafting, will be forgotten by almost everyone around you within mere seconds. This isn't a judgment, it's a profound neuroscientific reality that, once understood, completely reclaims your mental landscape. You're about to discover how your brain's inherent egocentric bias convinces you that you are under constant, intense observation, siphoning off vital mental bandwidth that should be powering your most important work. In the coming moments, you will grasp the intricate brain mechanism behind the spotlight effect and precisely how this deep-seated cognitive illusion can either cripple your focus or, when mastered, unlock an entirely new stratum of mental performance and daily output. Prepare to witness how recognizing this fundamental truth about human perception immediately reduces your cognitive load, freeing your brain to concentrate on tasks that truly matter, rather than endlessly processing imagined judgments. Our brains are magnificent prediction machines, constantly striving to make sense of the world, but sometimes their shortcuts lead us astray. Consider the spotlight effect, a phenomenon meticulously studied by researchers like Gilovich, Medvec, and Savitsky in their seminal work from 2000. They didn't just theorize about it, they empirically demonstrated it. In one classic experiment, participants were asked to wear a distinctly embarrassing t-shirt featuring a large picture of a pop culture figure before entering a room with several other students. Afterward, these participants were asked to estimate how many of the other students had noticed their shirt. Their estimates were consistently almost double the actual number of people who could later recall seeing the shirt. The internal experience of feeling intensely conspicuous created an illusion of external visibility that simply didn't exist. Why does our brain do this? Our default mode network, that busy network of brain regions active when we're not focused on an external task, is heavily involved in self-referential processing. It's the part of your mind that constantly generates a coherent narrative of you in the world. This self-focus, while essential for identity, can warp our perception of others' attention. When you walk into a meeting, give a presentation, or even just send an email, your brain's self-monitoring systems are working overtime, simulating potential judgments, imagining critiques, and processing how your words or actions might be received. It's like having a dedicated internal department whose sole job is to manage your public image, but this department is wildly overstaffed and constantly ringing false alarms. Every perceived flaw, every minor deviation from your internal ideal gets amplified in your own mind, creating a palpable sense of being intensely scrutinized. This isn't just a fleeting thought, it's a persistent, low-grade cognitive hum that drains neural resources, keeping your prefrontal cortex from fully engaging with complex problem-solving. It is a subtle yet relentless tax on your mental energy, making every task feel just a little bit harder, a little more daunting. But what if you could eliminate this tax? Imagine your mental bandwidth as a finite, precious resource. Every single moment your brain spends processing the hypothetical judgment of others is a moment it's not spending on deep work, on innovative problem solving, on truly meaningful creation. This isn't theoretical. This has measurable impacts on your daily output. Think about the last time you hesitated to share a half-finished idea, postponed a critical decision, or procrastinated on a task that required you to put your work out there. That wasn't laziness. That was the spotlight effect diverting your mental energy, tricking your brain into prioritizing social self-preservation over creative execution. Your brain, sensing potential social vulnerability, chose to hoard resources rather than deploy them for effective work. A compelling illustration of this comes from research by Eisenberger and colleagues in 2005, which showed how even the perception of social rejection can impair cognitive performance. While their study focused on direct social exclusion, the underlying mechanism is incredibly relevant. When our social self feels threatened, our cognitive capacity suffers. When your brain believes it's under scrutiny, even if it's an illusion, it diverts processing power to that perceived threat. This means less working memory available for complex calculations, less sustained attention for intricate details, and less executive function for strategic planning. So while you're meticulously refining that sentence, that graphic, that presentation, convinced that every detail will be picked apart, your brain is simultaneously running a background program. What will they think? Is this good enough? Will I be judged? This parallel processing doesn't just slow you down, it degrades the quality of your output. Before this insight, you might spend an extra hour agonizing over a paragraph, not because it needs the work, but because your brain is caught in a loop of imagined criticism. After internalizing the reality of the spotlight effect, you might spend 10 minutes refining, because you understand that the vast majority of people are far too preoccupied with their own internal narratives to intensely scrutinize yours. That's a 50-minute gain in productive time, redirected instantly towards your next high-value task. This isn't just about saving time, it's about reclaiming your mental sovereignty. It's about transforming from someone constantly second-guessing to someone consistently delivering, powered by a brain that's finally working for you, not against you. Do you feel the subtle weight lift just considering that shift? Now, how do we make this powerful brain revelation actionable? Here are 3 concrete brain-based techniques you can implement today to redirect your mental resources away from imagined scrutiny and towards high-impact work. First, let's call this the audience awareness reset. Before you begin any task where you anticipate potential scrutiny, drafting an important email, preparing for a team meeting, or starting a new project, pause for just 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Instead of imagining your audience as a panel of critical judges, consciously visualize them as individuals preoccupied with their own internal worlds. See them mentally reviewing their grocery lists, remembering a forgotten appointment, or planning their weekend. Picture their minds as busy, flickering screens, each focused on their own movie, with you as just a tiny, momentary background extra. This immediate cognitive reframing tells your brain, threat level, negligible. The expected brain response is an instant reduction in the activation of your brain's social threat circuits, which in turn frees up your working memory, making your attention feel lighter and more focused for the task ahead. The second technique is the scrutiny log. For the next 3 days, carry a small notebook or use a digital note-taking app. Whenever you feel that pang of self-consciousness, that sense of being watched or judged, quickly jot down the situation, what you were doing, and your expectation of scrutiny. Then, at the end of each day, reflect. How many of those instances actually materialized into real, observable scrutiny? You will find an overwhelming discrepancy. Your brain, being an evidence-based learner, will begin to recalibrate its threat assessment. This empirical feedback loop helps to rewrite the predictive error in your prefrontal cortex, showing it, day after day, that its default spotlight setting is an overestimation. The result is a gradual but profound reduction in the baseline cognitive load associated with social interaction, making decision-making smoother and faster. Finally, employ the echo reduction prompt. This is for those moments when you are deep in thought, perhaps editing a document, and a wave of self-doubt washes over you, fueled by the imagined gaze of others. At that precise moment, interrupt the thought pattern with a simple internal mantra. Their spotlight is on themselves. Say it silently, with conviction. This short, powerful phrase acts as a cognitive interrupt, immediately challenging the egocentric bias and reminding your brain of the fundamental neuroscience you now understand. By consciously invoking this truth, you create a direct countersignal to the false alarm, allowing your attention to snap back to the task at hand. This rapid redirection of focus helps to immediately reallocate neural resources from social anxiety processing back to the executive functions required for high-level work, preventing the echo chamber of self-judgment from taking hold. You are no longer a passive recipient of your brain's ancient biases. You are an active architect of your mental landscape. You understand that the perceived glare of external judgment is often just the internal projection of your own brain's self-preoccupation. This isn't just a productivity hack, it's a fundamental shift in how you relate to your own neurobiology. You now see your brain not as a capricious master, but as a powerful, albeit sometimes misguided, ally. By consciously guiding its attention, by providing it with empirical evidence, and by understanding its inherent mechanisms, you transform yourself from someone who gets caught in the invisible currents of social anxiety into someone who deftly navigates them, always steering towards purposeful action. You are now someone who works with their brain, not against it, to unlock truly peak mental performance. Take this knowledge, integrate it into your daily practice. Optimize your cognitive flow by acknowledging the invisible forces shaping your focus. The pathway to unparalleled mental output is not about working harder, but about working smarter with the intricate machinery of your own mind. And believe me, what we uncover next about the hidden levers of your cognition will be even more transformative.